Cork City, Ireland. Everyone knows about Dublin, but what about Ireland's second largest city? What would it be like to live here? Well, it's a lot cheaper than Dublin, that's for sure. Hey expats and travelers, I'm Kalie.
And I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere, and we've teamed up with Digital Nomad World to share with you about why you should consider Cork as a place to live. Let's go.
Cork City and the county of Cork are about 2.5 to 3 hours southwest of Dublin. It's not massive the same way that Dublin is, but it still has a bustling metropolitan feel with plenty to explore. It's the second largest city by land, but third by population. From the traditional architecture to the beautiful river to the cafes, it's an easy place to live without feeling like it's overrun by people.
For those of you who are interested in history, Cork was expanded by Vikings and used to be fully walled, which you can still see remnants of that wall today. Fast forward a lot and we know that Cork, and of course all of Ireland, is part of the EU.
That means you use euros here, and it will help for those of you who are EU citizens when it comes to work. More on work later on though. Let's chat a little bit about things you need to know before moving here.
It's a youthful city with lots of diversity, and the great thing is the cost of living overall is cheaper than Dublin and many other major international cities. So whether you're looking to work remotely, retire, or be a digital nomad, Cork is a spot you should consider moving to. Let's break down some of the numbers for you.
A meal at an inexpensive restaurant is around 15 euros, with a 3-course meal for two at a medium-range restaurant being around 80 euros. A beer is around 5, coffee will be 3 to 4, so food and beverage out can be kind of pricey.
The city is quite walkable, but you do have the option for buses, and a lot of people have bikes as well. A single ride on the bus will cost you a few euros. It's well connected by buses and trains for travel outside of Cork also.
If you're preparing to move to Cork, make sure you budget accordingly because you'll find that prices are generally higher compared to some other desirable cities around Europe. Eating and drinking can add up quickly.
Well, how about the weather? Ireland is known for its rain, so how bad is it really?
The summers are fairly dry and clear with temperatures hovering between the 50s and 60s. So it stays fairly cool and comfortable for the summer months, but not cold. Far less rain too.
However, winters can get cold and quite wet. The lows dip slightly into the 30s and highs will only reach into the 40s for the most part. There are also far less sunlight hours compared to the summers. It rains a lot, with rainier months being December and January. It's also possible to catch some snow, so definitely plan for precipitation.
We mentioned some prices earlier, but when you're living in Cork, what will an ideal housing budget be? A 1-bedroom apartment for rent in the city center will be around 1,300 euros, but if you move out a little bit, then it drops to about 1,000 euros.
A 3-bedroom apartment in the city center will get high, like around 2,500 euros, then drop a bit closer to 2,000 euros the further you move out. Obviously, space, location, amenities, and more will cause a fluctuation in these prices, but this will give you an idea. Plan to pay around 150 euros a month for utilities.
If you're looking to buy, it's rare to find something down in the city center for under 200,000 euros. That's even for a 1-bedroom. But if you move a little further out, you can budget around the 200,000, but it really depends on where you are. It's more likely that a 1-bedroom will be a bit more than that.
Yeah, 2 bedrooms that are central will be anywhere from 200,000 to 400,000 euros. The city center is actually an island between 2 channels of the River Lee. The water is quite a desirable place to be, so prices will be higher. This is even out of the city center, as there are other bodies of water such as the Douglas River, which is not too far away. Also know that they tend to be joined together, so sharing a wall, a roof, something like that. It's not as common to find a place that's standalone in the center.
Here's a list of a few popular neighborhoods to live in. Some are right in the city, while others are a little further out, so you just have to see what fits your preference.
A common pastime for those in the city is to grab a pint somewhere. You have all sorts of places to get a good beer, and there are even a few craft breweries. You'll see Rising Sun's Brewery, beers all over, but there are others popping up.
Fitzgerald Park is also a great place to hang out. There's a large playground area for those of you with kids, but it's beautiful to sit on a bench or a blanket on a nice day.
Of course, meandering around the city to take in the architecture, see the remnants of the wall, visit the Butter Museum, or just grab something to eat at the English market are all common things to do around Cork.
There are loads of food options around the city. Of course, 2 common dishes are fish and chips and a full Irish breakfast. Both can be a bit heavy, but don't worry, lighter options are available.
At night, the pubs and bars come alive. You can find live music as well. For those of you that want to do a little more than drinking at night, check out Crane Lane Theatre for things like live music, theater performances, or more. The Cork Arts Theatre is another option.
You'll find a variety of parks and golf courses around and near the city. Lots of opportunities for outdoor exercise, or of course there are gyms you can join. Also near the city is the Blarney Castle with the famous Blarney Stone. Marina Market is in a bit more of an industrial area, but it's a great spot for a variety of food options and room for kids to run and play.
I love that area. There aren't any international schools in Cork, but there are private schools, and public is also an option. It's quite family friendly with plenty of activities for people of all ages. University College Cork and Cork Institute of Technology are here though.
If you're looking to work in Cork, you'll have a seamless transition if you're a citizen of the EU. There are a lot of jobs in the technology industry. Medical and engineering are also quite popular. Another big field to consider is pharmaceuticals. Foreign direct investment in Ireland has really boosted the economy, so you're seeing these effects not just in Dublin but also in Cork.
If you're outside of the EU, you will need your company to sponsor your visa. You'll need an Irish residence permit. This is a common thing as large companies are hiring from all over. Amazon, Apple, and Dell all have a presence in the Cork area.
Cork has also become increasingly popular for digital nomads. They do a great job of offering co-working spaces and comfortable coffee shops for work. A couple of co-working spaces are Plus 10 Co-working Space and Culture Co-working. If you would rather work at a cafe, there are several great options like Duke's, or grab some good coffee at 3 Fools or Cork Coffee Roasters.
Internet overall is fast, so you have a lot of options with co-working spaces, cafes, or even pubs. So lots of great things going on in Cork, but could Kalie and I live here? All right, Cork, Ireland.
I really liked Cork actually. I mean, I like Ireland overall. I think it's really beautiful. The green is really nice. But I think I'd want to live in a city like Cork. Maybe not as big as Dublin, but Cork I thought was really good. What do you think?
Well, I do agree with that. I think that the size of Cork is really nice. It's manageable. It feels like a city that runs. Like, I mean, we've traveled quite a lot. We've lived in 5 different countries around the world, and it's definitely a place that feels like it functions. Yeah. Now, I will say this: it feels very comfortable because of the language barrier. The fact that there
is none.
there hardly is none.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
hardly
There's
any
an
language
accent,
barrier.
But you're
There's an
still
accent
speaking
barrier.
The same language.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we didn't run into anyone that was like only Gaelic speaking.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think something that might be difficult is there's lots to do, a lot of great restaurants and bars and beer, so I think you end up spending a lot of money. I mean, I know that like digital nomads could definitely work there, but you would have to budget for sure. You can let money run away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at it. It's the richest country in the world, something like that. Yeah, like per capita, there's some like crazy stat in terms of like the wealth. Maybe it was GDP per capita, something like that. I mean, obviously I know there's like the Singapores and Luxembourgs and not Luxembourgs, Monacos and
Luxembourg might be in it.
Luxembourg's up there. Yeah, what am I talking about? Qatar's, those countries. But Ireland is definitely up there. Yeah, it's super up there.
Yeah. So you could spend a lot of money. I really like down in the downtown area where the river is. I mean, maybe you wouldn't want to live there, but it was really cool to be. Outside of Cork is also nice, but I think if we lived there, I'd want to be kind of down in that city center area.
I agree with that. One thing that we like to look for whenever we live in a place is being able to walk places and not be dependent on a car. But I think that in Ireland, you'd want a car. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that's spread out. There's a lot to see that's outside of the cities. So yeah, a car would actually be nice. But I don't know. So then
maybe
at that
you park
point,
it while it's in the city or while you're in the city, but yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to price compare. I think having a car, like, paying for the car, gas, insurance, compared to if you want to just take trips and then rent a car for a weekend or a week or something, what would be best. But yeah, Ireland, you need a car.
I think it's highly dependent on what stage of life you're in as well, because if you're in a stage of life where you are becoming more settled and you're not that digital nomad where, you're going to be there a year, 6 months, a year, maybe 18 months, 2 years, or remote worker, but now you're transitioning into like wanting to be there 5, 10 years, the rest of your life, pushing up daisies. Then
not a bad place.
Not a bad place. Then I think you'd want a car. I think you'd start to make some lifestyle changes and you'd have some differences in your life for sure.
Yeah.
You'd probably be buying a property.
That's true. And maybe you wouldn't be down in the city area where I think is a bit more of a younger crowd. Yeah. But even with a young daughter, I would be fine being down in that area. Maybe not doing that every night, but being in that area is nice, I think.
Yeah. I liked how young and vibrant the city is. I thought that was great. I think the pub culture is awesome.
Yeah.
Love the
A lot of
pub
good beer to
culture.
try.
Irish people are so stinking nice as well. Like some of the nicest, most outgoing people on planet Earth.
But then on the other hand, they drink a lot and they like to fight.
Well, that's true. I just think, you scurry home.
You be on the good side of the fight. You're
You
fine.
scurry, yeah, you just hug it out.
Yeah, no, just be behind the guy fighting or stay out of it, but get a good little show there. No, the Irish, they're a lot of fun. A lot of fun to go out with, very kind.
Would you say they're
very
good crack?
generous. Yeah, they're good crack.
Good crack.
Yeah. So, okay, then Cork, are we to that time?
Yeah, we're to that time where I asked the question, would you expat that? We're simply asking, would you want to live in that place? In this case, we're talking about Cork. Would you want to live there for some time, 6 months, year, 2 years, whatever? Not for the rest of your life, but short time.
I would say definitely yes. I would expat Cork. I would live there for a couple years probably. Maybe not like, a really long time, but definitely a couple years I think would be a lot of fun. What about you?
I would say yes. The caveat is I don't think right now we're at the income level in terms of our remote work. I don't think that we're at the income level where I would be cool going there. It's the same with Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Like, love Luxembourg,
That's so true.
love Cork. Both of them offer a lot of great things in terms of amenities to have an awesome life. But there's also a wage you need to be making to really take advantage of all of that.
Yeah,
'Cause
sort
it's
your
not-
budget out for
it's not a
Cork
cheap
so you can
place.
have a good lifestyle, right?
Yeah, and if you guys want to check out what we think of Luxembourg, click on this video right here. Luxembourg is a great place to want to go to if you want to expat a place. Now, let's get moving. Bye.
Bye.